Much of our knowledge about Umayyad architecture derives from the mosques built by Khalid ibn al-Walid, a companion of the Prophet Muhammad. But unfortunately, very little has survived from this period in the realm of architecture. The Umayyads constructed, rebuilt, or enlarged congregational mosques in Basra, Kufa, and Wazid, at Al-Fustat, and in Kairouan. In general, we can say that the Congregational Mosque is the most important structure in any town. It combines religious, social, and political functions. A wide range of activities took place in this space, for example, school instruction, community events, and the administration of justice. Two important structures developed in these early mosques. The first is the Maksura, a special enclosure reserved for the prince. It is often placed in the middle of the Qibla wall. The Maksura served a number of functions. It might protect the ruler from possible attacks, glorify him, and separate him from his subjects. The second important structure that developed was the minaret. This structure derives from the Roman lighthouse and serves as a beacon of light to guide the faithful to the place of prayer. During Umayyad reign, the minaret becomes a staple of Islamic architecture, though it is hard to find intact examples from that time period that do not bear the marks of later builders. Only small traces are left from the Imam Ali Mosque in Basra, Iraq. Construction began in 635 Common Era. The site is famous because, according to Shiite belief, Adam and Noah are both buried at this location. Wazid is an Islamic city in Iraq, built by al-Hajjaj bin Yusuf al-Thaqafi as an administrative center for Iraq. The city was built in 702 Common Era on the west bank of the Tigris across from the historical city of Kashgar. It was abandoned in the 10th century after the riverbed of the Tigris changed. An archaeological dig in the 1930s and 1940 produced plan drawings that show two structures on the same site. What is curious about both structures is that neither of them points to Jerusalem or Mecca. The Mosque of Amr ibn al-As at Al-Fustat in Egypt is now completely surrounded by the city of Cairo. The Mosque of Amr ibn al-As, also called the Mosque of Amr, was originally built in 641 and 642 Common Era as the center of the newly founded capital of Egypt, Fustat. The original structure was the first mosque ever built in Egypt and the whole of Africa. The location for the mosque was the site of the tent of the commander of the Muslim army, General Amr ibn al-As. One corner of the mosque contains the tomb of his son, Abdallah ibn Amr ibn al-As. Due to extensive reconstruction over the centuries, nothing of the original building remains. The Great Mosque of Kairouan, also known as the Mosque of Uqba, is a mosque in Tunisia. Established by the Arab general Uqba ibn Nafi at the founding of the city of Kairouan, the mosque is spread over a surface area of 9,000 square meters. It is one of the oldest places of worship in the Islamic world, as well as a model for all later mosques in the Maghreb. The Great Mosque of Kairouan is one of the most impressive and largest Islamic monuments in North Africa. Its perimeter is about equal to 405 meters, which is roughly 1,328 feet. This space contains a hypostyle prayer hall, a marble paved courtyard, and a square minaret. In addition to its spiritual prestige, the Mosque of Uqba displays the first use of the horseshoe-shaped arch in Islamic architecture. The building is a vast, irregular, quadrilateral, longer from the eastern side than on the opposite side, and less wide on the north side, in the middle of which stands a minaret, which is the world's oldest, going back to the 9th century. From the outside, the great Mosque of Kairouan is a fortress-like building. The square angle towers measure 4¼ meters on each side. Noteworthy are also the solid, projecting buttresses. More than a defensive role, the buttresses and towers serve more to enhance the stability of the mosque, built on a soil subject to compaction. The current state of the mosque can be traced back to the reign of the Aghlabids. No element is earlier than the 9th century besides the mihrab. Except for some partial restorations and the few later additions made in 1025 during the reign of the Zirids and later. Al-Walid constructed and completed 3 monumental mosques at Medina in 710, at Damascus in 706 to 715, and in Jerusalem, where he completely rebuilt the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Prophet's Mosque, or Al-Masjid an-Nabawi, is a mosque established and originally built by the Prophet Muhammad, situated in the city of Medina in Saudi Arabia. It was the 3rd mosque built in the history of Islam and is now one of the largest mosques in the world. It is completely rebuilt now. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, located on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, was originally a small prayer house erected by Umar, the 2nd Caliph of the Rashidun Caliphate, but was rebuilt and expanded by the Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik and finished by his son Al-Walid in 705 Common Era. The mosque was completely destroyed by an earthquake in 746 and rebuilt on several occasions at later times. The great Mosque of Damascus, with its magnificent open-work marble lattices, saw several, sometimes misguided restorations. The most obvious one might be the replacement of the original beaten earth pavement with an awkwardly polished marble floor.